Thanks for joining us. We'll be starting the webinar shortly. Hopefully we'll still have a few more joining us, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we always use up the full hour for this webinar. Good morning, everyone. I'm Celeste Powers, president of PIDA. On behalf of PIDA and APPA, the sponsors of Global Pet Expo, welcome to today's webinar, Creating Customer Loyalty That Lasts. This is the third in a series of 4 webinars to help you navigate in these unprecedented times. For those of you that have been on earlier webinars or listened to the recording, sorry that my intros seem to be the same, but again, I feel like there's important information that I want to say each time for those that may not have heard it. As a reminder, all of the webinars are recorded and archived to re-listen, share with your staff, and so forth. You can access all of the webinars, including this one, under the Seminars tab at globalpetexpo.org. The first webinar had more than 100 views and last week nearly 40. So we're really thrilled that many stores are taking advantage of these webinars, even if they can't join us live. So let me add a welcome to all of you that are listening to the recording. As I've stated before, but want to continue to stress, both PIDA and APPA continue to add to our COVID-19 website pages. Each of us have it on our websites at pida.org and americanpetproducts.org. And there's a lot of great information. We keep adding different information coming out from the government and so forth. So continually check back to those pages to be able to get the latest information that you may need. And lastly, don't forget you can access all of the free training on Pet Store Pro 24/7 at petstorepro.com. Okay, enough of me. Now on to what you're here for, our wonderful presenter, Lynn Switanowski. As I say, Lynn doesn't need an introduction because we all know and love her and learn so much from her every time we participate in either a webinar or a seminar that she does at Global Pet Expo. She's been doing this for over a decade for us, and we appreciate all of the insight on the hot topics from customer loyalty to social media that Lynn gives us. So without further ado, Lynn, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I decided to do my stand-up desk today because if this is our new normal, I'm going to present to you just like when I see you live and in person at Global. I got my dress clothes on and everything. It's a regular work day for me. So I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about customer loyalty in the time of COVID. And I think this is a topic I'm sure you all, probably we've talked about it at Global or other sessions that you've been to, but it's even more critical in the time of COVID because people are so uneasy. People love your pet stores. We're going to talk about that as we go along. The question is, as we get into this new world of interactive retail, maybe shopping online a little bit more, what does customer loyalty look like? I know that all of you are really good at customer loyalty when someone comes in your front door. I know you have programs. I know you tell them about your programs. And I know that you, excuse my hair, my face, and I know that you love dealing with your customers that way. But what I don't know, and I want to make sure of, is that you continue to talk about that, both on your social platforms and in your other marketing vehicles. So that's where we're going to go today. We're going to talk about customer, but not just in the time of COVID, but in the time of long-term customer loyalty building for your store. So with that said, let's get into it and let's talk about how to do that. Again, as Celeste said, there's lots of ways to get this webinar, both download the presentation. There's a handout section. If you haven't used the webinar function before, you'll see a section that says handout. There's a PDF already loaded, so you can just pull that off and have it on your computer. You'll get a recording of this so you can hear my voice. Feel free to go to the links at Global Pet Expo or email me. So there's lots of different options. We want to make sure that you have the information both to follow along as well as use it for reference or share it with other people that you want to in your sphere down the road. Celeste did a great job. So I'll just, now that you have me live, I don't have to show this slide, but I'm sure that if we were in a room full of people, I would see your smiling faces. I would know that you, let's see, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. So you just finished maybe another webinar. You stayed out too late last night in Orlando, so you're just getting into the seminar room, or you've been on the show floor for a couple of hours. So you're in your seats and raring and ready to go. So let's talk about where we are today. And, you know, as I said last week, and you can see our continuing theme here, there is some business opportunities that are being forced upon us that we didn't want to deal with per se. Maybe we thought about it in the back of our minds and we were going to get to it, but we're too busy managing the day-to-day functionality of our business, as opposed to sort of sitting in the strategic 30,000 foot view of my business and say, where are my customers? And I know if you sat in one of my seminars at Global, or you've listened to a webinar that I've done, my job all along has been trying to help you think a bit more strategically for your businesses. And, you know, this is forcing us to do that. So when I say, you know, our business has changed rapidly, and I talk about the long term, some of it is short term. Let's back into the fact that we need to do business now in the time of COVID. But the long term is what happens if our customers really like the ways that we've communicated with them, the ways that we've adjusted our business model. So this isn't just about you know, driving growth per se. It's about staying in business today, and then in, you know, a month from now, it's about adapting new ways of doing business to communicate in the future with our customers. We might not have planned for it, but we're here now, and now we've got to adapt. And to me, there are going to be some things that really resonate with your customers. So I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and tactics today to improve your customer loyalty. And I'm positive that some of these will stick. You know, I always say to you when I'm talking about your social media, be friendly, be personable. I think in the time of COVID, it's not trying to sell, it's trying to serve. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, my call out to you was, how can you serve pet parents in the time of COVID? Everybody is stressed about something differently. I'm stressed about my own personal health and well-being. I'm stressed about my kids. I've lost my job, and I have a pet that I love, who, by the way, is a member of our family, and I'm stressed about how I'm going to, you know, serve them, get them food, get them their favorite treats and toys, and try and keep some sense of normalcy. So if you put serving instead of selling, don't misunderstand. Serving leads to sales. The key is to make sure your customers feel that you're serving them first. How can we help you? We understand, and I say we, the store, we understand you're stressed. We understand things are chaotic right now. We are here for all of your needs. And once you present all of the ways that you can serve their needs, it will lead to sales. Think about it. How can we make it easier to feed, protect, wash, treat your pets, whether that's your beloved dog, cat, fish, right? So every time we're talking about customer loyalty, talk about your marketing, any action that you put in front of your customers, ask that question first. How can we make it easier to do this? This will lead to a long-term benefit of customer service. And, you know, the key is, how do you continue to deliver that message again and again to your customers? Here's the thing. Ironically, as you are more authentic, as you talk about how it's easier, right? you're going to meet new customers. And here's why. I can't go out of my house. I know that a pet store is an essential business. Maybe I'm so stressed personally, I forgot to buy food for my dog, for my cat. Now I'm out and I can't, maybe I order online. Maybe I don't have time to be online, but my local pet store, because I'm spending more time on social media, because I'm seeing Instagram more, I'm maybe at home and maybe I'm perusing Facebook more. I've seen my friends talk about this pet store right down the street. And I go on to the page of your pet store and you're informative, you're helpful, you're serving customers, you're answering that, how do I make it easier? You're showcasing foods and products that you have, and anti-anxiety medicine for pets, things that make life easier for pets. All of a sudden, you're meeting new customers. I think the key is you're going to meet existing customers, you're going to make them feel better about why they've always known they loved you. And at this time, you're going to meet new customers. So how can you be the voice and the face, right? That's me talking about this, webinar situation, this in my face kind of mentality. How do you say, I want to be the voice and the face for customers now, but not in an online store? And we'll talk about another way to do that later. Maintain a solid relationship with your community, right? We talked about that. You're a member of a local town. You know the police chief. You know, if you're in a small town, you know the mayor. You know the other businesses on Main Street. So serving. Hey, did you know that there are these restaurants open for takeout? We have other things. Do you know these veterinarians are open in case there's an emergency? That these hospitals are open, right? What can you do to serve and offer some information on a regular basis, on a daily basis, that serves your customers, that doesn't put selling first, that selling becomes secondary, but because you're so good at serving, the selling happens. So my computer is keeps kicking on my webcam, so I have to be on my game face all the time here. How do you be in touch, communicate with your customers? If I'm in front of you and we're having a conversation, many of you get frustrated with me when I say you have to be on social media 2 times a day. You're like, I can't do that, I'm too busy. It's critically important now more than ever, not just communicating on a casual basis, but an often basis. Be in touch with them. Let them know that you're thinking about them, that you care about them. Even if we haven't seen you, maybe the answer is, we hope you're staying safe. From a video perspective, from a post perspective where you tag yourself, or a picture from you or your staff, or obviously social distancing, whatever you want to put forth in front of them. Communicate often about how you serve and about how you're human too, and you're missing them. All right. Another thing that you can do to kind of I think ease the nervousness of your customers is to set up a hotline. Tell your customers you care. Call it whatever you want to call it, a pet service hotline, the name of your store hotline. The idea is, we're in the store, these hours, we're opening, we'll talk about some early opening hours, but where is there a dedicated line? Maybe it's in this moment, it's your personal cell phone, and you tell people that. Maybe that doesn't work for some of you, but the idea that you can answer questions on a consistent basis and help people solve problems will be an important part of getting through this together. Again, they're nervous, so how do you help them, get out of their nervous nature? Create a community. Some of you have heard, I'm sure, the expression Zoom room, the Zoom, and yes, there's maybe some potential issues, and there's workarounds for all of those. But the reason I'm bringing out a right? We are many people, your customers, the only socialization they have maybe is going to the pet store. I get to walk my dog, that's great. I obviously stay away from people, but having a pet means I can go out in this crazy time, and that means I can go out to my local pet store. But what do I do the rest of the time? How can you create an online community for your customers? Think about when we're having a conversation about event planning. I talk about breed events. I talk about in-store events. Maybe it's a meet and greet. It's a yappy hour. It's a learning education session. Take those community things that you do from in-store to online. A Facebook watch party, if you have a Facebook page, is another way that you can do that. Facebook Live. Invite people to your community. They're already members of your community, but make them participate. I worked with a client the other day and we did a Zoom and everybody had their pet in and it was actually light and airy and people had fun and they were smiling and the pets were being their usual self and, slobbering kisses on their owners, and there was lots of dogs in the room and there were some pets. One of the people from Global, Marcy, maybe you know her, she's been great about showing pictures of her wonderful cats. That's making me smile in this time. So we know that our pets make us smile, and we certainly know that your customers' pets are making them smile. Now you be the coordinator of that pet happiness. And again, education, entertainment, what do you want to be for them in this time? How do you ease their fears, and how do you make them forget for a second what we're dealing with and have a little bit of fun along the way? So the key is creating this sense of community. Your front doors are open, which is great, but in many cases we cannot congregate in your stores. So the question is, how do you bring this community, instead of being on the store, online? And if there are manufacturers on this call, it's the same thing. You've got people that love your brands. You've got distributors who are setting up communities, whatever avenue of the pet industry that you are coming to this from. Groomers, we miss you. We miss your servicing your clients. Maybe we can't do hands-on right now. Maybe you can do some tips and for home wash till I see you again. There's lots of ways that you can tap into why your customers love you, even if they're using less of your services at this point. But again, you're a brand, you're a store, you're a groomer, you sell supplements, you sell toys, bring your community in and show them what you're doing so that when the doors open. I have other customers who are missing big sales, right? There's a big spring sale event, right? It's puppy season usually. So there's a lot of spring store activity right now, and they're figuring out how to plan for when we can have those big events in the fall or later in the summer. So bring customers in and let them know that life will return to somewhat our new normal and that you can't wait to see them again. Again, support your community with content, and I talk about pets and information, but I also think you need to talk about how you are part of this coronavirus situation, right? How do we make sure that we help them survive this? Here's the social distancing tips. I'll show you that in a second. A store did a fun way. Obviously, this is from the World Health Association, so it's very serious. But what else can you share that makes people see you as the helpful conduit person, right? That you help the everyday life of your customers. One thing I didn't put up this time, but you could think about, do you have kids, right? How are kids dealing with this? This is one of my clients, right? How far to stay away from social distancing. Take this meme, it's really cute, right? Stand 10 chihuahuas away, 5 beagles, 2 pit bulls, 4, Siamese cats, 3 Maine Coon cats, 162 fish, 1 horse. You can make it fun and you can make it personal for your business and the customers that you serve. But again, you can gear it toward, this one's kind of cute and, for adults, but is there something if you have lots of kids, how to run a contest and ask kids to talk about social distancing, have them send videos in of how they're practicing social distancing. That gets community content going, and that also gets kids engaged, right? Parents are looking for, they're homeschooling their kids now, so they're looking for things to do with them. So be part of the solution. Serve, right? You're giving information. Show your customers how to behave in these times, right? I say lead by example, but leading by example is understanding what your customers' problems are in this time. Let me remind you that what I'm summarizing, I guess is the better word, right? Give your customers something to share about COVID-19 or otherwise. If you have fun on your pages, and I say fun, if you're educational, entertaining, and your customers are coming back to you as a source for information, that's the best we can do at this time. I know where to get my pet products. The store is still open. They're telling me if I haven't been to that pet store before about what products I can substitute or buy for my pet, because my main supplier is out. So now I'm introducing, new customers to what we do, why we're really good at what we do, and we're also being a source for information about COVID. It could be that you share information about updates in your town. I've got, clients sharing up-to-date links from the town website that says, hey, these are the new things, the pet, how about the dog parks are closed. Here's where, they shut the water off at the dog parks. If you're in a colder area, they're not turning it on. Here's some other things that you can do. Be helpful to people so that they can share from your pages. Because when we're talking about, again, 30,000 feet, we're talking about customer loyalty. That's serving people without appearing to sell. Serving first leads to sales. So be a source. Picture if you want to really embrace this and understand that you are the center of all help, if you will, you want to be the center of all help for your customers. How much information can you provide to your customers? Some of it about pets, but most of it about COVID and what's going on in their town because they're home now more than ever. Think about it. Can you be the source, the one go-to source, whether people have a pet or not? Obviously, that's extreme, but how helpful can you be so that people will share your pages? You have pet customers, you share all this information, you make content that's really good and that's smart and informational, and you get your customers to share it with their friends, with their family, and some of those people might have pets. And even though they live in the same town or surrounding town, they had no idea you existed because they went to another pet store, right? That's how it works. What other things? We're going to talk about customer loyalty. Maybe there's coupons you can offer now. Maybe there's obviously recommendations are key now. I've never bought from an independent pet store before. Picture me as a new customer. My best friend, brother, sharing all this really unbelievable information from your pet store. So I go on and look, but I'm used to spending $20, not $60, not $70. How do you convince me to try new foods? How do you share that their pet will be better off because of it? Again, recommendations, you're getting the word of mouth referral because somebody's already sharing that information. Now the key is how do we extrapolate that information and create a new loyal customer out of it? Here we go. This is the part, right? Deliver your messages via social media and do it live. The key to credibility is being in front of someone. So just like, I'm in front of you right now, I'm live, you can see me. It's not as much like if you've been in my seminars, I'm not walking up and down the aisle, but you see my face, you see my passion for what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm looking in your faces, I'm smiling at you, right? That adds trust and credibility. That says we know what we're talking about. It says we're going through what you're going through. You're the owner of your pet business and you go on today and you say, hey, it's Lynn. I'm just checking in today. It's Wednesday. In case you all don't know, yes, it's Wednesday. We're having trouble keeping track of days right now, but we're here. We want you to know we're thinking about you. We're thinking about your pets. Just wanted to give you an update on what we're doing. We had our cleaning service in yesterday. We have early hours for our seniors. Here's the number at the bottom of the screen, to text me, to call me. We'll get you free delivery. We deliver on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and know that we're going to get through this together. That's your message. Updates, checking in, other people in your store on a regular basis. And doing it live creates more, kind of credibility and trust because I'm a real person. I'm not just a cash register. I'm not somebody who's just trying to be to money grab. I'm in this with you. I'm at the store risking, in some cases, risking my life because I know that your pets are really important to you. Maybe you don't have to be that dramatic, but the reality is people that are on the front lines right now are risking it. And, you know, it goes to saying, you as the owner of your business, thanking your employee, your family, people that are helping you to serve the pet community goes a long way too. Okay, so now let's talk about what customer loyalty looks like in your new world, other ways that you can. I mentioned older shopping or special shopping hours for older customers. Do you have an older customer base? Would they feel better being able to come in the store from 8:30 to 9? I don't know when you open, but let's just say you open at 10. Coming in from 9 to 10, you know, with a personal shopper. You know, think of it as a reservation service. Maybe you're at the store at 7:30 because that's just when you get in, and you make a reservation time for, you know, 8:15 and 8:30 to get older customers through. So it's one-on-one shopping. The store is all to themselves. Maybe even 5 or 6, you know, older customers is scaring some people right now. Personal shopping via video with a sales associate walking around. Think of a FaceTime call, a GoPro on your head, walking around the store, picking out products. Not perfect, but it's certainly safer. If your customers want less interaction, make that easy to do at your pet store. And some of you sat in my boot camp just, you know, over a month ago, and I had this conversation in a different way that said, what happens if your customer doesn't want to come in, right? They're shifting, they're happy to shop from their couch, and therefore they don't want to come in. Today, customers want less interaction for a completely different reason. So ask yourself, instead of bemoaning less interaction, how do you embrace less interaction and drive sales at your pet store, at your pet business? Same model. If you are a distributor that's sitting on this call and your way of getting to your customers is to go and, you know, do the counts yourself, or to, you know, glad hand with your customers and walk in the store and teach sales associates about products. How do you distributors change your model?
Thanks for your patience, everyone, as we continue to try to work this out. We do apologize. This is one of the new challenges with COVID-19. As we all know, there's so much strain on the internet system that unfortunately sometimes we have these challenges. So thanks for your patience, and we'll get Lynn back with you shortly.
Okay, I'm back, I think. Can you guys hear me now? I'm really sorry. We seem to have lost internet here in Southern Florida for some reason, and I apologize for that. But let's see if we can go on. If someone can tell me, can you hear me? Can someone tell me if they can hear me?
I can hear you, Lynn.
Okay, great. So I have the screen. Can you see my screen moving?
Yes, we can, Lynn.
Okay, great. So I apologize for the glitch. Clearly remember a couple weeks ago we talked about flexibility? So I dialed in on my phone and I'm able to talk to you via audio. So we'll keep going. Okay. I don't think I can use my webinar anymore or my webcam, so sorry about that. But let's go back to ways that you can have less interaction with your customers. And I mean this sincerely. Less interaction has to be understanding that your customers want to deal with that. I promise you, if I was staring you in the face, I would have the most somber face, and I would tell you sincerely, your customers love you. They love your face. They love your employees. They want to be in your store. But the key is, right now, they're scared. Okay? And so you have to make it just as comfortable and just as much of a smile and a good response, right, that you are able to say to them, it's okay. Shop how you want right now. Reservation, personal parking lot, curbside delivery, free home delivery, a drive-through, right? Free shipping. What will it take for you to make sure that your customers are happy? And again, let's circle back to the content here, customer loyalty. What if some of your customers, including maybe some of your older customers, are scared 3 months from now when the doors open fully again and they still are nervous and they're still wearing a mask in public because they're not ready to let go of that crutch? And really having special shopping hours for older customers turns out to be a really, really nice thing for your business. You get to choose. Don't misunderstand me. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But understand these are going to be the new types of interactions that our customers might want from us. Okay, what I want to do, right, we're talking about flexibility and we're talking about more shopping options. Let's talk for a second about more payment options. And Marcy, I'm not sure if the poll is going to work, but let's try, because I think I might be the only one that doesn't have internet here. So I'm going to give you guys a poll. Take a poll and answer the question, how many current ways of taking payments do you have at your store? I don't know, Marcy, can you launch the poll? I can't see it, sorry.
It's up there, Lynn.
Okay, great. So take a minute, answer the poll, and ask yourself, how many different ways do you currently take payments? Give you about 10 more. Everybody fill in and then hit submit. Or you should publish this. Yes?
Lynn, the poll results are up. Would you like me to share those with you?
Yeah, I literally just lost my web connection, so I am, for whatever reason, I am struggling today. I apologize, everybody. I'm logging into the webinar again. But yeah, Celeste, would you mind sharing them while I'm reconnecting?
Sure. So how many payment different options do you currently offer to your customers? The results showed 68% said 1 to 3, 32% said 4 to 6, and we had no one at 7+.
Okay, everybody. I've got my computer back, so see here. Thank goodness, right? Can you all see my screen now? Marcy, I got my computer back. If you want to give me back the screen, that's great.
Okay, stand by and I'll switch back to Lynn's screen.
Okay, so here's the key, everybody. 1 to 3, and I can just talk through this while we switch over. Marcy, just let me know if you wouldn't mind when you're ready, and I'll go. Okay, so I think we're there now. Are we ready? So the key is 68% of you, right, are using 1 to 3. But let's talk about what that is. Cash and
Lynn, we can't hear you again.
can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Right now, I apologize. Celeste, it seems like you're the only one. I apologize. Is the screen being shared from Marcy or me?
Lynn, it's your screen now.
Okay, great. So
Screen, your audio, you're good to
there
go.
we go. Okay, great. So I'm really sorry, everybody. So you said 1 to 3, 68%. That means cash, credit card, maybe a debit card, maybe a check. Some of you, maybe you take, hopefully some of you have gift cards. That should be 4. But the other key for many of you should be things like your modern customer, Apple Pay and Android Pay, PayPal, Venmo, the Cash App. Some of you, let me repeat some of those because that may be the first time that you're hearing those. Apple Pay, Android Pay, Samsung Pay, Google Pay. Those are what we call mobile payment apps, and you pay via your phone. And some of you are like, that's not what I want to do. I want cash in my pocket. That's fine, except your next customers. And a way to make it easier, if I can't get to the bank now in a time of coronavirus, can you have other options for your customers to pay? And is that more convenient for them? And do they like that better? And are they wanting to make it more convenient for themselves? And can you, as a retailer, make it more convenient for them? So when I said 7+, let's go through cash, check. Let's talk about credit card, debit card, right? Then let's talk about credit cards. Do you take one credit card, which is, MasterCard or Visa, or do you take Discover and Amex? You have gift cards. I'm sure most of you probably forgot that. So you take gift cards. The other ones, now we move to the mobile payments, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, and Android Pay. PayPal is another really convenient tool. Some of you might use it on your web platforms. Can you take it in store? And as well as Venmo, VENMO, Cash App. These are new modern ways of sharing. And I think if you talk to some of your younger customers who are under the who are under the age of 30, you'll find out that they don't have cash in their pocket. So how can you make it quicker and easier? And again, offer convenience to your customers, not just how you can shop with me, but how you can pay. A big new model is mobile self-checkout, and we won't spend a lot of time on that today because we're really dealing with the time of COVID, but down the road, can you make it easier? I know you all go to the grocery store in normal times and you probably can use self-checkout. Maybe you go to a big box store, you can use self-checkout. Is that an option for your store? Loyalty in the time of COVID means that you can be generous with what I call your loyalty program. You all have a loyalty program, and that means that customers build, whether that's buy 12 bags, get the 13th bag of food, whether they spend $100 or $200 and they get points. If people are shopping less or they're nervous, make it a bonus. Surprise and delight them. Not just take care of your, customers with how you do it, but take care of your loyal customers, right? Maybe you offer double points on certain days. Maybe, seniors who shop early, maybe your drive-through, maybe you get double points on your first delivery order. Maybe you get double points on your curbside delivery. Think about the ways and how you connect with your customers to say to them, you appreciate them. And by the way, this time, we want you to know that we appreciate you more than ever before. That's what a loyalty program does. That's how a loyalty program works really well. It keeps people coming back. So now think about what features and benefits you can add to your loyalty program in this time, and frankly, that your customers might like. Do you have a coupon? Take out the expiration deadlines of your coupons. You know, look, rewards. Is it $10 for 100? Maybe now it's $15 for 100. If it's a percentage off instead of 10% off, could it now be 15? It's another way for you to say to your customers, we are here, we are in this together. And, you know, some people might have lost their jobs, and, you know, maybe you don't have to have a store sale all the time, but maybe a nice way of saying, hey, double point days on these days, or like I said, a discount. Do you have a VIP club within your loyalty program? These are super shoppers that maybe they come to events in your store. You know, a great example here would be airline, you know, status, if you will, airline status clubs. Many of them in hotel saying, hey, people aren't traveling, we're going to extend the membership of that program. Maybe you have a pay program that, you know, people join for $60 a year and they get all these free perks and benefits. Make sure to extend the length of that. So instead of expiring in, you know, December, you know, we're going to extend it until the end of the first quarter of 2021. It sends a couple of different messages. One, we care about you. Two, subconsciously, we're going to be fine. We're going to get through this together. We will be here in the spring of 2021. And we also really care about you. So think about your loyalty program as it exists today. You can see I was assumptive in that most of you had a loyalty program. If you do not have a loyalty program, now is a really good time to think about, you know, lining that up. We want to do something for all of you in this really troubling time. We've been wanting to do it, and this was, you know, this was our chance to say, hey, here you go. We're starting our loyalty program, and this is what we're going to do. This is something that many of you may or may not have the ability to do, so I'm just throwing it out there. Where are you on the community? I know you're charitable. I meet all of you. You tell me about the programs and the food you donate and the charities you support. You do that every day. That isn't any different because we're in COVID. You know, however, do you talk about it enough? Are there other resources where people need, you know, more help in this time? If you are financially able, you know, and can support COVID organizations, either for pets or people in your local town, that's a very nice thing to do now. Again, we're serving our greater community. We are doing things that we normally do, and maybe we're just talking about it a little bit differently now. But it's a feel good for not only your customers who see you in a charitable light, who recognize we know pet people are empathetic people, right? So for the most part, they want to, maybe they donate to these charities as well, but they actually want to shop at a store, participate with a business that donates and that supports charitable causes for pets as well. So now would be a good time to remind people that you're doing that, maybe step it up, maybe do a specific day, maybe partner with a, you know, your distributors, or partner with a vendor and do a matching program. You know, we'll meet, you know, there, we've got these 3 people that are going to do matching with us, so that we can make the donations even bigger. So enlist your community, enlist your suppliers to help you with this process. So team up with other local businesses, and I mean this with all sincerity. We're obviously all in this together. We are doing things differently. I want to show you that I'm in Florida right now, and this is our local farmers market on Saturday morning, and it is a drive-through farmers market now. So I wanted to show you that example from another way to you know, sell to people and serve people. Put the, whether here it's flowers, put the food in the back of the car as they drive through. But can you partner with other local, you know, are there local growers? Are there farmers? Are there flower people? Is there some way that you can, because your store open, can you give? and our local Trader Joe's. Every morning, you know, when the older seniors, they have 8 to 9 senior shopping. I'm not quite a senior, but I had to shop the other day, so I was waiting in line to get in, and they gave everybody flowers on the way in. So is there a way to team up with local businesses because yours is open, theirs isn't? You can showcase other stores in the community, talk about their business, help them survive this, be a partner through this, and make your customers, you know, feel better about it at the same time. You know, running out of inventory, I know you guys all work, you know, with distributors or direct from manufacturers, but if there's something that you can't get or something that you know somebody else has that you, in fact, you know, don't have at this particular time, can you share and spread the wealth? I don't have it, however, the pet store down the way has it. I'll either get it for you, I'll have them ship it to you. Again, you're trying to put your customers first. What's most convenient for them, and how can you partner with other local businesses? All of these tools will help you gain customer loyalty, not just in the short term, but in the long term. We talk about loyalty as a way people talking about your business, and in this particular time of COVID and certainly beyond, when you highlight reviews, people that, you know, you have an older customer came in and last week, and they were so happy with how you helped them, you know, put that review on your social media pages that says, we're in this together, whatever you need, call us. You're showcasing a customer review, somebody who you helped out, and you need to communicate that online. Again, reviews are about gaining loyalty, besides the fact that people are looking at reviews, because people are spending more time on the internet these days, on social media. It can give you a chance to meet new customers who see you doing all these wonderful things, hear all your customers who've given you glowing reviews, and obviously build trust and credibility, and making it a easier transition. The statistics on the slides here just show people trust reviews. In terms of gaining customer loyalty, because people trust reviews, because they're scared right now, now is the perfect time to share the good things that you've done and what the customers have said about it. It is okay for you to say, we're thrilled to be able to help our customers. Here's what they're saying. Again, you can help lots of other people. Again, earning customer loyalty means being where your customers are and answering them in the way that they want to be answered to. So how do you use your social media as a customer service tool in the days of, do you message your customers back and ask them if they got their deliveries? Do you Facebook message them? Do you DM them on Twitter? Do you, send them a note on their Facebook pages? Do you link, do you send them pictures of products? Do you, share their social media stories? Again, you can use social media as a tool. We have these products in. Tell your customers how to DM you or use Facebook Messenger to order goods from you. You can set up an auto reply that somebody, when they go to your Facebook page, you can set it up that your Facebook message tool pops up and says, hi, it's Dan, it's Lynn, how can we help you today? All of that is automated and makes your customers involved in a relationship and not a transaction. How can we help you today? Did you know that we have free delivery? Your auto message could be, please note, we have special hours and special delivery options in this time of COVID. Click on our website for full information. Click on our bio for more information, right? So use your social media as a customer service tool to help you connect with more customers. And not just more customers, but more customers where they want to talk, right? And as I wrap things up here, this may not be where you are, and that's okay. But another tool, if your business is, staying afloat, and do people in your world need help? And that is that maybe you have multiple locations. Maybe you've had to lay off staff who are non-essential staff. Maybe there are people in your community who are struggling. Do your customers want to help? You will know that very clearly and easily by the messages you get, by the conversations that you have with your customers when they're coming in or when they're calling. This happens to be a GoFundMe for the people who work, and my husband's Canadian, many of you know that, but so this is a hockey team, the Calgary Flames, and the team put together a GoFundMe. They're paying them, but they're also putting GoFundMe together because people miss going to the arena, because they miss their local, the snack guy, from the stand they always go to. So they did a fundraiser for them. Again, this is personal, where you are, privately in your own life and in the store, and keeping everybody, afloat. Maybe that's all you can do. If you have the bandwidth and if your customers want to participate, you can ask for help, whether it's from vendors, you're talking to banks now, lenders, but from customers who may want to help. One of my clients, not in the pet industry, but this is you could extrapolate this to the pet industry. She is donating, and actually her customers are buying a $50 gift card, and they are donating, she's in the lingerie and bra world. She's donating pajamas to nurses at local hospitals. And I spend the $50, I buy the gift card, and it says, Lynn from, St. Petersburg wants you to know she appreciates what you're doing. And it's delivered to the lobby. There's a setup area, and she's delivering these bags to the hospital. So now you talk about pets. Do these nurses, doctors, medical staffs, grocery workers, truck drivers, do they need pet food? Could you help with that? Could you create a feel good, do good for people, who are doing the hard work now? And you're doing the hard work. Don't misunderstand. I'm talking to you, so I can't, tell you to ask for help from yourself. But can you share the goodwill that your customers have for your business and get them to participate in this way? Again, if you want to flesh this out, I can certainly walk you through pretty quickly if you want to email me or call me how my client is doing it. But it's literally a gift card they're purchasing on their Facebook shop, on their website, and then on behalf of that customer, she's donating to these local hospitals and healthcare workers. So is there a way that your pet business could do the same kind of thing? Okay, I've left time for questions. I am wanting to make sure that we had a 4-session pack, and next week we're going to talk about the future. What's next for your pet business, how to plan, prepare, and forecast. And while we're still in flux, and many of you are in different places in the country, recognize that we're going to try and be strategic and talk about 30,000 feet. We'll get you some of this direct information from where people are offering help. I'll update you on where the latest, business services that I have from the government perspective, but also get you to think about how you're going to incorporate maybe some of these new lessons that we've been talking about, new ways of marketing, new ways of communicating, to your customer, new ways of building customer loyalty for your customers. I have talked to a lot of my customers, and there's 2 approaches right now that are going on. And one of them is, this is exhausting, and it is. And the other one is, I'm really feeling good. I have this really deeper connection with my customers. They are appreciating. It is more convenient for them. I'm making it easy to shop this way. So you have to ask yourself, maybe I'm going to need to retool. Maybe instead of having 4 people on staff, that are standing at the cash register, maybe there's going to be somebody who's doing social media orders. Maybe there's going to be somebody who is communicating with your customers via messaging. Maybe there's going to be somebody who is going to be walking around the store doing personal shopping. We have Instacart shopping, we have shopping for every grocery store out there. Maybe this is the model that's going to lead to the pet business. So we're going to talk about a lot of different ways that we can think about it, incorporating some of these new ways. I did leave a little bit of time for questions. Chris, do we get any questions that we want to get to? I can look at the chat box too, but is there anything anybody wants to chit chat about now? Ask questions along the way?
It doesn't look like we had any questions posted, but if people do have questions, Lynn's contact information is available. My contact information is on the Global Pet Expo website. We're here for you guys. So if something comes up, if you're rewatching this, if you're watching this as a recording, we're here for you. We're all in this together.
Yeah, I want to end with that. I will say one of the questions that I got last time that I thought was really good and I didn't get to answer. And the question is, what if I'm just not that creative? What if I can't think? You know, I sit in your seminars or webinars here and I love all these ideas. And then the problem is, how do I execute? And that's a valid question, right? You know pets, you know how to shop for pet food, you have business acumen, you know how to do the payroll, and maybe the creative piece isn't that. You know, this ask for help from your vendors and lenders and customers applies to you too. You're here, you're learning, that's fantastic. We're all here for you, like Chris just said. Pick up the phone, call us, email us, text us. You know, how do I do this? Go educate yourself, sit on more, you know, webinars. That's great. That's all fine. And sometimes we're so busy doing that we don't think strategically and how to ask for those things. So I would urge you all, please, there are resources out there. You will find that all of us who are helping you through this time right now are just as generous with our time. I'm happy to talk to people and answer questions, not just today. If you're on the webinar, you know, like Chris said, the information is there, contact us, and we're here for you as well. So just know that we are going to be here together through all this. I would like to say thank you and appreciate your patience for this webinar today. Obviously, glitches happen. How you deal with it, I mean, this COVID isn't a glitch, it's a pandemic, and we're all stressed out about it, and that's how we deal with it is the key thing. And sometimes, just like in the webinar today, when your internet goes out in the middle of a presentation, you have to be flexible and come up with a contingency plan. So thank you for being here today, and we hope to see you next week as well.
Thanks, Lynn. And we certainly all understand any technical issues. It's happening to all of us at different times. That was another great webinar, and thank you to everyone for being on here. We look forward to Lynn's presentation next week. And don't forget, you can review all these webinars under the seminars tab at Global Pet Expo. And thanks for taking part, and we wish all of you continued success and good health. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.